Breaking news. Dr. Valentín Fuster joined several world-renowned figures in science and medicine as a recipient of the Prince Mahidol Award presented by Thailand's royal family. Dr. Valentín Fuster was recognized for his international leadership as a clinical scientist, his breakthrough contributions to cardiovascular medicine, and his advocacy promoting global cardiovascular health. Last week, Her Royal Highness Princess Pratap presented the prestigious award in the field of medicine to Dr. Valentín Fuster for the year 2020 at the Chakri Throne Hall. He was awarded alongside his peers, Dr. Bernard Pécole, founder and executive director of Drugs for Neglected Diseases Initiative, for his work in public health, and Drs. Katalin Kariko, Drew Weissman, and Peter Cullis, whose work on mRNA technology is used in the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines.
And I wish that those of us who receive the award can follow the same line of thought that he had, and that is to work into what we do to help humanity.
We are thrilled to announce the renaming of Mount Sinai Heart in honor of a true legend in cardiology, Dr. Valentín Fuster. For more than 25 years, Dr. Fuster has led Mount Sinai Heart as director. His history of excellence in patient care, research, education, and community outreach is unparalleled. We are delighted to join these two icons, Dr. Valentín Fuster and Mount Sinai Heart, in this meaningful and historic way. To commemorate this renaming and ensure Dr. Fuster's vision and legacy continue far into the future, we are launching the $100 million VF100 campaign today.
We will forever be grateful for all the time and work and commitment you've made to Mount Sinai. You represent the greatest aspect of who we are. We all aspire to be you. You will never be forgotten. You will have an immortality at Mount Sinai that will best be reflected in putting your name on Mount Sinai Heart, because you have been so essential to what it has become.
There is no place anywhere in Sinai that does not know about Dr. Valentín Fuster.
He's the most amazing individual I've ever met in my life.
And I can't think of anyone else that this should be named for except him.
How many people touch your life in such a profound way?
He left an indelible mark here. 100 years from now, this place will stand because of what Dr. Fuster created.
It's about Mount Sinai and about what this institution can do to serve the community.
It's about his patients, it's about his students, it's about his colleagues, and it's about the future. As Dr. Fuster always says, we move forward, we move on. And I think what we're honoring with him today is a perfect example of that.
Dr. Valentín Fuster's vision, which will be supported with this campaign, rests upon 5 fundamental pillars for redefining heart health at Mount Sinai Heart: prioritizing the patient experience, driving innovation in basic, clinical, and translational cardiovascular research, recruiting the leaders of tomorrow, educating the next generation, changing habits in our community. Dr. Valentín Fuster is intent upon giving our patients the most advanced operating suites for their treatments and the most fully equipped and comfortable patient rooms for their recoveries. By reimagining the design of Mount Sinai Heart's physical treatment areas from the ground up, we will fulfill this need, further innovate cardiac care, and prioritize the patient experience.
The number one objective in medicine is the patient. And we both believe that most of what you learn about a particular patient is at the bedside.
Anyone that has been a patient of Dr. Fuster can speak to how special he is. Whether you are getting phone calls from him on the weekend or he's coming in at 4:30 in the morning to see you in your hospital bed before he goes on and starts his day. Dr. Fuster is the most committed, dedicated, compassionate person you will ever meet. And as a patient, you just feel lucky to have him in your corner.
One of his unique abilities, I think, is to really bring interdisciplinary teams together, and all of us working together, of course, for the patient and to improve quality and really improve patient experience.
He understands what the patient really needs to get through, whether it's an operation, a procedure, a difficult treatment phase. He understands how to give them a sense of hope and how to let them know that he's going to be with them all the way.
There's a quiet power about Dr. Fuster. He doesn't use a lot of words, but when he comes into a room or an exam room, he commands that room. And he communicates to his fellows and gives his patients courage with just his presence and a few simple words.
I think he has a very calming influence, and that's what I love about him. And the fact is that he listens. A lot of doctors don't listen. He looks you in the eye and he listens. And I was very impressed with that.
And if he was able to calm me down, that says he's a very good doctor.
We are awed by his expertise, by his devotion, by his caring for his, not just for us, but for all his patients.
I can't tell you how grateful I am for his personal impact on me, my lifestyle today, because of his so many discussions about how we should live and how to deal with stress, how much he's helped my family in so many situations, that I am indebted to him as a person, as a professional, as a scientist, but more importantly, as a great human being.
As a friend and as a patient, thank you. I love you. My entire family loves you and your family. You've been such an integral, special part of my life on so many different levels. And my parents would be so proud of you today and so grateful for everything that he's been able to go on and accomplish, as they were there with him from the beginning. And so to see it really all just come to life and in this culmination of honor is something that's very special.
We are so proud I'm so proud to work alongside an unbelievable human being who really, that his goal is to promote health, to reduce cardiovascular disease, and to work with interdisciplinary teams. And he does it so well. And he, like I said, he's a supporter of the entire team. He's all about team, and teamwork is one of our health system values, and he emulates that every single day.
Thank you for your wonderful help, for your calming influence, especially on him. And
we even think you're a pretty good doctor.
Yeah. and a wonderful person.
Dr. Valentín Fuster has demanded that no worthy effort go uninvestigated as we seek to understand, prevent, and treat all manner of heart conditions. Mount Sinai Heart's audacious research in all areas of cardiovascular health will remain crucial into the future and drive innovation in basic, clinical, and translational cardiovascular research.
I began my career with research on a disease that already was becoming the #1 killer, heart attacks.
He is really a giant in this institution and has been for many years, known as someone who is really a phenomenal cardiologist, a great educator, a great teacher. And so Sinai and Fuster are sometimes interchangeable.
He is someone who everyone incredibly respects, including myself. He instills a confidence and an aura of experience and knowledge in every facet of cardiology, which is really inspiring and actually awesome. I can't use any other word.
When you're in an early age, you're like a sponge. And that's the perfect time to really educate them, to have a healthier behavior, to understand how important it is to have a healthy diet.
What Dr. Fuster and his team focus on isn't the treatment of heart disease alone. They want to understand and basically treat the beginnings of it.
We're talking about a great impact globally of how can we transform a future that is healthier.
Dr. Fuster has had an incalculable impact on cardiology, starting from the fact that there is a Sesame Street physician named after him, all the way down to the incredible work that he has done in clinical cardiology and how he has inspired clinical cardiovascular research. So he's really a champion and a global leader in medicine and in cardiology.
Thank you for bringing me on as the faculty at Mount Sinai Heart. It's truly been an honor and privilege in my career to be able to work closely with you, to be able to try to improve outcomes for patients with heart disease together. And I hope we'll be able to do this together for many, many years to come.
The excitement that's going on at Mount Sinai is driven by the great people of Mount Sinai. So I want to thank everyone from the Mount Sinai team for leading us to where we are today.
We must continue Dr. Valentín Fuster's efforts to ensure that the international best and brightest bring their talents and creativity to Mount Sinai Heart. Perpetuating Dr. Fuster's unwavering insistence upon recruiting the leaders of tomorrow and supporting young physicians and researchers will keep the high bar cemented where Dr. Fuster has set it.
To provide the best care to and bring the latest advances, you need to spend a lot of funds to develop the research technique and hire expert, the top level scientist. And that will come from this VF100. So what will it do? It basically will uplift the overall, I would say, the status of Mount Sinai Heart even further by getting more top scientists in various areas of Mount Sinai Heart.
He realizes that you can't do this alone. You can have research, you can have evidence, but you also need to be able to translate that to other key stakeholders and motivate them. And he's quite a communicator. But I think what makes him special is that he's able to kind of bridge other worlds. He has vision because he can bring things together that a lot of people don't normally do. And he also brings different types of people to the table.
He developed a training program for fellowships in cardiovascular disease that attracted the best and the brightest young people to be trained at Mount Sinai. And once they got their training, we kept them on our faculty.
So if we attract great people, we innovate, we get modern facilities, we get the right research equipment and the right surgical equipment and the best ORs. So you can see how in a microcosm, our campaign is going to be funding our centers of excellence across our health system.
Dr. Fuster, I just want to say that I appreciate our friendship in addition to all of the years that we've been able to work together. I've learned many things from you, but one of the most important has been that in important moments, it's that connection that you make, that human connection that you've made with me. When I was sick, you checked in on me, but I've seen you do it with others as well, and always with a sense of humor, but also concern. And I think that that's something special.
Thank you to be my mentor and to be with me in my 32 years of journey here at Mount Sinai.
You've had a great impact on my life. You've been a role model for me. I treasure working with you, and I treasure being your friend. So, thank you for everything you've done for me and my family, as well as for Mount Sinai.
Dr. Valentín Fuster's mentorship and educational standards have prepared generations of research and clinical cardiology practitioners to achieve greatness for their patients. This campaign will help us continue and expand Dr. Fuster's efforts to nurture and educate the next generation of groundbreaking healthcare leaders.
The most important message that he instilled into me was, science is not as complicated as we have made it to be, and that our approach to medicine and investigation must be simple and must make sense.
Well, the most important thing that I learned as a Fuster Fellow was that you really needed to keep an open mind about where care and science was today, and always be looking for the ways to better understand it, to see where the gaps were in our understanding, and as best you could to devise the experiments and the processes to make it better.
Dr. Fuster is an amazing mentor. He's the best mentor I've ever had. And I think what makes him so amazing is that he's extremely approachable. He's always there for you. He's never too busy to talk to you, to give you feedback. I meet with him weekly, both for personal growth as well as professional growth.
Sign of a true leader is someone who can lead from the front, as well as lead from the back, and allow others to be in front and have the opportunity to provide their leadership while you are mentoring them behind the scenes.
There's an expression that Dr. Fuster uses often with his colleagues and his friends, which is move on. And it really is so important. It'll come in emails, it'll come over the phone, because it's his driving nature. He even as a child called move on. And I think it's indicative of his spirit. We're all driving forward with his vision.
Valentín, thank you for the incredible impact you have had on my life personally, on the mission of the American Heart Association, on cardiology overall, and on global health and well-being. You are an incredible force. You are relentless in your dedication and your passion. And I indeed am so honored to call you a dear and cherished friend. Congratulations on this wonderful next step in highlighting your legacy to the world.
Love you, Dr. Fuster. You have guided many destinies, including mine. And I pray to God for your healthy and very long, productive life, that you continue to guide the destinies of youngsters. Once again, I love you.
Congratulations, my friend, on such a wonderful honor. I am so very, very grateful for your mentorship, for your guidance, for your patience. And I know that I am the recipient of, many are the recipients of this, but you always make all of us in these roles feel so special. And we are so grateful for your guidance and leadership.
So Valentín, I want to congratulate you on this very special honor, which is so deserved. You know how much I value our relationship. We've had the opportunity to say that to each other many times over many decades. And I'm just looking forward to what comes next.
Dr. Fuster's work in building healthy communities worldwide has been a primary focus for him. La Familia, a pioneering educational initiative, worked with children throughout Harlem to create family-based cultures of health to reduce obesity, heart attack, and other conditions. With the VF100 campaign, we will expand these efforts throughout the 5 boroughs of New York City to change habits in our communities and instill in all children healthy habits from an early age.
Our goal is to develop concepts in different regions of the world to really promote health at a much larger scale.
When we have the disease, there are a lot of research on how to identify that and how to treat that. But what about before that? We should promote cardiovascular health from the early childhoods.
Dr. Fuster has been a part of Sesame Street, in which he teaches little children through his character named Dr. Rooster how to behave so as when they grow up, they understand what it means to have a healthy diet, understand the need for exercise. That's all about prevention. And that's been a very high priority for Dr. Fuster's work. I think we all aspire to make Mount Sinai the kind of place that facilitates his success, that we know the potential for what he can do is unlimited. And it is our responsibility to see that he has the resources and the infrastructure to make his vision possible.
I knew from a very young age that he was doing something really special outside of our family, and when he went to work every day and when he was working at home, just from the things that people, other staff, when I would come with him to the hospital, the things that the people who worked with him would say to me.
The impact of Dr. Fuster has been huge, enormous. I would say he has a cohort of more than 50,000 early child students around the world that are somehow doing more exercise, eating better, taking care of their emotions.
T'estimo molt, papà.
Valentí, estic honrat de treballar amb tu. M'adreço a tu en català, que és la llengua que ens uneix, per molts anys i molta força.
Yeah, this campaign is really important because there's so much more we can do in cardiovascular disease for patients globally through the combined efforts of the team we have here at Mount Sinai.
I think that we're at a point now in time that we need to be sure we have the funding for bring us to the next level in in this century.
Patients that have been helped by Dr. Fuster to really create a legacy that will outlive all of us. I think it's also an opportunity, honestly, for all of us that have been around him and worked with him to help support this initiative to honor him. And I do believe that if we can all come together and really create this access to funding that will let us express vision beyond our current expectation, then I think we will really have a look back and collectively say that not only did we come up with a way to honor Valentín Fuster, but with a way to preserve the legacy collectively, what we've all been working toward under him, and project ourselves as really the leader in cardiovascular care around the globe in the next 50 years.
To ensure that Dr. Fuster's legacy continues to shape the future of cardiovascular medicine for years to come, we are also establishing an endowment fund in his honor. Building an endowment will mean that his pioneering research, innovative teaching, and compassionate patient care is cemented in perpetuity, and his lifetime of legendary work continues long into the future. A new era of cardiovascular care begins now. As friends, patients, mentees, and colleagues of Dr. Valentín Fuster, if you believe in his vision and the power of Mount Sinai Heart to change lives, please find it in your heart to support the VF100 campaign today.
I'm here for you the way you are here for us. I want to support your future endeavors, not just as a donor, but as an advocate for the work you do and its importance. And I think there are probably many, many patients out there who feel the way I do, that you've given so much. It's our turn to give back. It's our turn to be donors. It's our turn to financially support you. And it's our turn to say thank you to you for everything you've done.
Make a heartfelt gift today. Support the VF100 campaign. If you've already supported the VF100 campaign, thank you. You're helping to keep Dr. Valentín Fuster's vision alive. With your continued support, we can accelerate Dr. Valentín Fuster's mission of creating a culture of reducing preventable disease and improve patient outcomes. Thank you to our generous donors, patients, and colleagues who have joined us in support of the VF100 campaign. Your loyalty and commitment are the heart of this vital campaign.